of the miles that we're covering at least.
Olympian James Cracknell and adventurer Ben Fogle are taking on the largest sand desert in the world.
Look at this.
The Empty Quarter. They're travelling in the footsteps of legendary British explorer Wilfred Thesiger. Their goal? To rekindle a lost friendship. Together they've already rowed across the Atlantic Ocean and raced to the South Pole. Now, in the most hostile desert on the planet, they'll face extreme heat and dehydration.
I do feel like I'm almost hallucinating. I feel like I'm drunk.
Violent sandstorms.
I'm getting those eyes round.
And unpredictable chaos.
Stop! Stop it! I'm in so much pain.
And their troubled relationship will be pushed to breaking point.
Okay, James, calm down.
You're lying, mate. You don't want to head out. Rubbish.
Sometimes James is an arse.
If you go to bed on an argument, it gets bigger.
Can James and Ben find what they're looking for in the most remote place on Earth?
I'm going to need you more than ever over the next 2 days.
We've both been on umpteen expeditions and trips, and this is way harder.
Do you know where you're going?
I'm going there.
Middle East.
Middle East.
Could you point it out on a map?
So where am I going? Where do you think
It's a week before Ben and James set off for the Empty Quarter.
it's bigger than the Sahara?
James's wife, Bev, and their children, Croyd, Kiki, and Trixie, are helping him get ready.
It's so big, it's like the space between your ears. There's nothing in there. This is an amazing place to go to. Neither Ben or I are experts in this environment. It's a case of, in any situation, knowing what your limitations are and planning around them.
Who loves you?
Dada.
Oh, he does. Oh, he does. He's going to miss you, isn't he? Where's Daddy going? Is he going to see a camel? Wow.
I am, for once, not going to be the most grumpy person on camp because there's some camels there as well.
Check it out.
Ludo, can you guess what Daddy's going to make? I've never properly tried to live and be self-sufficient in a desert.
It's more like a dinosaur.
For me, this is a really exciting opportunity to genuinely test myself in what I think is probably one of the toughest terrains. Can you make me enough to last me a month in the desert?
The Empty Quarter expedition will be the longest that Ben has ever been away from Marina, Ludo, and Iona.
The funny thing is, I'm kind of genuinely reaching a stage now where I just want to be with my family. And part of me thinks maybe I should just kind of hang up my adventurer coat. But I do love this whole adventure thing.
Ben and James first met in 2005, when Ben asked the Olympic rower to join him in a race across the Atlantic.
Cabin is underwater. Very scary, and Ben's very shaky. That's why.
They emerged from the grueling 50-day voyage as firm friends.
Amazing mystery.
3 years later, they teamed up again in a 500-mile race to the South Pole.
You're not even halfway.
The pressure of the race pushed their friendship to the limit.
It's got to be a sponge. It's got to be a pushing out.
My friendship with James is quite a complex one, there's no doubt about it, and we have been described, and are often described as the odd couple. We're pretty different. Whatever it is, James has to and wants to be the best at what he does.
Despite the tension of Antarctica, they always planned to do a third expedition together. But in July 2010, tragedy struck. During a cycle race across America, James was hit by a petrol tanker. He suffered a catastrophic head injury.
He was wired up to all sorts of machines, pillow covered in blood. His brain had swung forward in his skull, and all the damage was to the front of the brain.
I was a day away from never seeing my family again.
James's skull was split in 2 places, with severe bleeding and swelling of his brain.
It was a sort of waiting game of kind of, well, is he going to live? Yes. Brilliant. Is he going to be okay? We don't know. Okay. We can't tell you how much of him is ever going to be back. The one thing they were categorical about, they said he will never regain some of these functions that he had before. He will always struggle with some of these things. That's really hard to hear.
He spent 3 months on a neurotrauma recovery ward in America.
Is that good for her eyes?
3 years on, he's still coming to terms with the effects of the accident.
A lot of day goes past that I wish it hadn't happened, and I wish it hadn't happened for Bev and the kids. The reality is with the frontal lobe injuries, the ability to plan, organise and motivate and empathise are massively reduced.
He's found it very hard to maintain relationships, which apparently is classic textbook behaviour for someone who's had his injury.
I probably don't even really know where our friendship is at this particular moment. And in some ways, actually in many ways, that's why I'm embarking on this trip with him. Because I see this as a chance to try and understand more about where we are now. But also, I don't know, I don't know whether James sees it that way as well, but I kind of feel that we need to kind of, we need to refriend.
With a brain injury, it's very difficult, and people find it very hard to be honest, and they've got their expectations of what the impact of the injury is, and are you different or not that different, and if they see you walking, talking, the assumption is you're okay. That's part of the excitement for me, is to see, right, to prove to, I think I've proved to myself, but just to show, whether it be to Bev, to family, to other people who've been through a tough time, that he's back, he's fine, and he's back on.
My worry comes from the fact that I've been told that some of his characteristics, some of his traits have been exaggerated through the accident. And if I'm to be right, I say that with a smile on my face, because that does worry me a little bit, because, you know, by his own admission, he was always quite hard on himself and those around him. He was always pretty driven. He always had the potential to be a bit grumpy occasionally. And if those are exaggerated, I'm about to go away with the monster.
Ben and James are travelling to Rub Al Khalid, the empty quarter. Spanning over 250,000 square miles across the Arabian Peninsula, it's the largest expanse of sand in the world. They're following in the footsteps of British explorer Wilfred Thesiger, who crisscrossed this vast desert over half a century ago. Aristocratic by birth, Thesiger shunned the trappings of privilege and wealth to travel in the company of local Bedouin. He shared their hardship and won their respect, earning the nickname Mubarak bin London. Now James and Ben are attempting to cross 600 kilometers of the empty quarter in Oman. They've promised their families they'll be away for just 4 weeks, so it's an ambitious goal. Local elder Musalem al-Mahari will be their mentor, teaching them the traditional Bedouin skills they'll need to survive in the desert.
You are stronger than me, okay.
How are you? Very nice to meet you. So you're going to
I'm going to help you
with everything?
Yes, I'll do. I'll try my best to help you. Have you read and come out before?
No, nothing. Okay, once, many years ago, I was hopeless.
Yeah.
So we know nothing really about camels.
Horses.
I've done a teeny bit, but not really very much.
And do
You're being really
horses?
polite again.
No, I used to have a cat. That's about it. Okay.
Because we know nothing.
Yeah, I mean, it's quite hard.
Ben and James are in Salalah, Oman's second city. When Thesiger was here in the 1940s, it was still a small town that had been built on the ancient trade of frankincense. Thesiger knew he was witnessing the end of an era, as oil wealth and a rush to modernity began to change Oman and the whole of Arabia forever.
I've kind of been fascinated by Thesiger since I was a young boy. I remember finding that book, Arabian Sands. The more I read, the more captivated I became about this empty quarter, this vast inland ocean, and the fact that here was a man out here being chased by gun-toting Arabs, genuinely his life in jeopardy.
Come, quickly. Listen to me, listen to my advice.
The traditional souk has changed little since Thesiger's day. Ben and James want to travel as he did, so it's the perfect place for them to shop for authentic supplies.
On an expedition, you can be as high-tech as you want. Quick wicking clothes, GPS, you can have water pumps to purify the water, just about everything at your disposal, satellite phones. But I think both James and I are fascinated to try and take it back to its grassroots level. I've never really done that before.
Try this.
Look at this, you've got a smile on your face now.
Yeah.
It's like a jockstrap.
Hey, James. Okay.
Is it a bit over the top? Do you think you need? What is this for? Look, is this for like show?
Yeah.
Or is this also
both? One's man.
Yeah.
Okay.
Silver.
Yeah, right.
I mean, it's kind of like dressing up, isn't it? But
try to eat a lot of fries to have big
try to
belly.
eat a really.
Yeah, to have big belly. Like this, you don't look a rich man.
Really.
You've got the evening attire.
Does it suit me? What do you think?
Am I going with the campest desert companion in the world? In fact, I was going with the campest desert companion in the world anyway. Now he's just made himself look like Priscilla, Queen of the Desert. Priscilla, I'm coming! Come.
The tribal unrest that Thesiger encountered over 60 years ago is long gone, but it's still Bedouin tradition to carry a dagger as a mark of masculinity, and it's a crucial tool for survival in the desert.
I think we need a short one and a big strong one. Each. Well,
I think just
a small one and a big one each.
Yeah. Well, why does one of us get a small one of us gets a big one?
Because, as you say, okay, if a snake happens to be near you, you're going to have time to fold out that and chop its head off. No, I think you want to take one of each. I think that is better to have one of each than a gun.
I think we definitely have some disagreements on how we want to approach this in terms of whether we're going for practicality or authenticity.
This knife, and the blade runs right to the hilt, is going to behead a snake or a camel or a fogel. But this knife will go with his Priscilla, Queen of the Desert outfit he's got. So I imagine he'll end up with this, which the budget will be 3 times as much.
Next on the Thesiger shopping list is food. They'll need enough supplies for 3 weeks. But first, they must agree on how closely to follow Thesiger's meagre rations of rice, bread, and eggs.
We could take potatoes. I don't know how we cook them.
No, we can't take it.
Tomatoes, probably not.
This seems to be Day Alley.
We need this for bread. For this, 50. 50? 55. We just said, I thought we had the deal at 50. Because it would have been 60.
So I'll do 25 kilos for 25 riyal.
No problem.
I will shake your hand, but it's probably quite sticky.
4 of these.
You want gingerbread? Sushi.
But listen, I want to add a little bit of flavouring. So we've got some ginger.
You're not going to live off ginger.
This is what Thesiger took out. No, ginger is going to just add a little bit of...
What's this? What's that?
Shark. Completely against my ethics. Thank you, sir. Thank you very much.
You've lived in Notting Hill too long.
What have you got?
How much fish is there? We've got way more ginger than just chewing. Look at that's the ginger and fish.
I know, but we're not going to smoke. The ginger is going to be flavouring all of our...
Look how heavy that is. You're going to a desert. You're not... What are you thinking?
This is the first time James and I have spent a day together in years. It's funny because it's almost like we're back to square one. It's almost like I'm with James the stranger again. You know, James who became such a good friend, who is still such a good friend. I'm still learning about who he is, how he works, and if I'm to be honest, I have had a bit of a shock. Because he's so different. It's such small nuances, but they kind of, in my mind, they've escalated. And that makes it a little bit hard, because I don't know quite which James I'm dealing with here.
Sugar? Yeah. Salt? Yeah. Dates? Yes. Ginger? No.
In 1945, Wilfred Thesiger left Salalah on his mission to open up the empty quarter. He called it the greatest prize of Arabian exploration. Ben and James are following his route north, heading to a Bedouin camp for their desert training.
Suddenly a lot of nothingness, isn't there?
Look, it's beautiful, right? Not really. It's the same as it was about a minute ago and an hour ago. It's stunning, but I've seen it. I feel I've seen it all that.
Unlike Thesiger, Ben and James have decided to take on the empty quarter without local guides.
Morning. Salam.
They've got just 3 days at Musalim's temporary camp to learn the necessary skills from his team of Bedouin tribesmen.
You ready?
First, it's time to meet their only teammates, the camels that will carry them and their supplies.
Oh, where's the camel as well?
They must learn quickly how to manage and ride these notoriously willful and grumpy ships of the desert.
Pull this down. I see.
Ben, who's known for his love of animals, has a touchy-feely style.
Good boy.
James goes for a firmer, no-nonsense approach.
Your camel is quiet because your camel is afraid of you, because they know, the camel knows that you are stronger than him. Parents camel, he is thinking now, how could I throw him somewhere in the desert? How can I kill him? How can I defend myself?
It's the quiet ones you got to watch for. That's what he's saying. I'm quite worried. He's very quiet now, but it'll only take 1 second.
Do your best when you are in the empty quarter.
Yeah. Very good.
Always keep yourself in the center.
Am I not in the centre?
Yes, you're okay. All in the center.
Should I go up?
Yeah.
Feels good being up.
Yeah, we're off. Slowly.
My one really wanted to join you, James.
They're up with ease, but their mentor, Musalim, is having some difficulty.
It's okay, Musalim, yeah?
Crazy camel.
James? Okay, Musalim?
Yeah, I fell down.
Do you think we've got the best tutor, James?
No. Go on, teacher. Which way are we going, Mr. Solomon? Left.
On this side.
That's right then.
They've taken to the riding well, but Ben and James will travel through the desert with 4 fully loaded camels. They'll have to ride their own camels and manage the pack animals tethered behind at the same time. A much more difficult skill to master.
Where are we going?
Oh, so this is the direction to Saudi Arabia. There, you see that canyons?
Yes.
You see the hills?
Yes.
Straight on
This way.
through the canyon.
Okay, come on. On you come. On you come. On you come.
Oh! Whoa, whoa,
Whoa, whoa, whoa. Whoa! Whoa! Stop! Are you okay, James? All good.
The camels, maybe they don't like James. I don't know.
James is the toughest person you're ever going to meet. Listen, you know, he was hit by a truck at goodness knows what miles an hour. I was in that hospital the day after, and all the nurses said that no normal human being would have survived that. James is made of, like, armour. Having said that, I think like all of us, he has a lot of pride. Partly both of us want to learn by our mistakes, but mistakes in the desert can kill, especially when you've had a head injury, and I'm always aware of that, you know.
I know, I'm sorry. It's on now. You obey me, all will be good. All will be good. You may not think I'm the boss, but between you and me, I am.
The camels will carry the water that'll keep the entire team alive between wells. The Bedouin claim goat skins are still the best way to look after this precious resource.
What will we put in there?
You put water.
No.
You put water.
Yeah. So the water just goes in the top here, does it?
Yes, in the water into the top.
Yeah.
And there's
They've actually got the udders still on them.
So the female goat skins?
male.
I think they're the
It's male.
testicles, Ben.
Oh, really? Wow. What are you doing, testing that it's...
And they guarantee they won't leak.
No, I mean at the beginning a little bit.
It smells a bit like rotten shoes.
And what does the water taste of then, when it comes out of here?
The first week it will taste not good. Smells not good, tastes not good.
Excellent.
But it will change. After a while you will like it.
Lovely.
Maybe at the beginning you will have the first or the second day diarrhea.
Oh, good.
Maybe. And then after it will change.
It's the last day of training. With the reality of what they're taking on beginning to dawn, the mood in camp is tense. Ben and James have set themselves an ambitious target. From the village of Al-Hashman, they'll enter the empty quarter, crossing over 600 kilometers of harsh desert terrain and huge sand dunes. Their chosen target is the vast and fabled quicksands known as Al-Asamim, Mother of Poison, made famous by Wilfrid Thesiger, the first Western explorer ever to reach them. But unlike Thesiger, they're determined to make the crossing without Bedouin guides, using only a map and compass to navigate.
So in Asylum, maps, routes, navigation. This is key, isn't it?
Which I think I'm the most nervous about, so feel free to group me in that
Yeah.
nervous area. Because it may look empty, but we've got to go the right way.
Yeah.
Your direction is this way. Northeast. Sand dunes like this. Sand in here, sand in here, sand in here, sand in here, sand in here. No canyon.
So all through here, how far do those big dunes go?
This goes till here.
Okay.
About 40 kilometers.
40 kilometers of dunes. Yeah.
After 40 kilometers, you will come to sand dunes canyon. Go north.
And then head north. Yeah. That's Saudi Arabia on the other side.
Saudi Arabia. Don't come close to Saudi Arabia.
No.
It's the quicksands.
Yeah.
And this whole distance from here to there, roughly?
650 kilometers. 650 kilometers.
For James, the pressure to navigate successfully between water wells is very real. His head injury means heat and dehydration could bring on an epileptic fit.
In terms of being ready for the empty quarter, the bits that I'm worried about now is not necessarily the riding the camels, the securing the camels, the feeding the camels, the packing the camels. It's finding the water and finding our way directly to the next well.
A seizure in the desert would mean the end of the expedition. More importantly, it could threaten his life. It's vital they have the means to find and carry water.
The navigation seemed quite specific for the first 20 kilometres and then very random for the next 480, so I think we're going to need every drop of water. How long is some water for? I don't know.
It will take 2 days to reach the first well. They'll need at least 70 litres for them and their camels.
I'm worried. Especially these. Don't run out home for more than a few hours.
Leaking goat skins are a serious threat to Ben and James. Wilfred Thesiger fought a constant battle with thirst. At times he went between wells, surviving on just a single cup of water a day. Temperatures in the empty quarter can reach over 50 degrees. To keep cool, he dressed like a Bedouin. Ben and James will also wear traditional Bedou clothing.
We have to stop being Western men now.
Right. Goodbye, shirt.
I'll miss you. My favourite purple ones. Big pants.
How do you do this, Ben?
Can I say it's actually very comfortable? It's quite breezy.
Are you freeballing?
Yes, well, with the big pants. But there's nothing to hold me in place. Our boots give us away.
Yeah, I think there's plenty more than the dish dash is going to give us away, but this is the fun part. The serious part comes when we get the camels loaded and we set off.
How are you feeling about that?
I have pretty much zero confidence in our navigation, if I'm honest. I'm not confident in our water holding up because it's leaking so much.
With just a few hours before nightfall, they must address their concerns with Musalem now if they are to have any chance of leaving tomorrow.
Can you feel these, James?
They're full. They're all full. But they are leaking. I filled them all up. Look, it's basically filling. Look at this. These are just empty. And all they've been doing is sitting in a truck, not bouncing on a camel. And it's so much.
You see, when you hang it like this, when you hang the skin, goat skin like this, it will not leak.
You know, this is not my environment, Simon. I'm not going to go out. I have wife and children. I'm not going in there not knowing where to go and with bags that leak. It's just not a responsible thing for any parent to do or any individual to do.
You need to be, confident and comfortable with what we have with us. So if we can look what Musalem's coming. James, I'm the first to agree water is life out there and there's no point. So I agree. Let's take them full. So Musalem, we've decided as a team, this is our plan. We're going to take these two.
Yes.
But we want to take them full.
Take this one. We will feel the water around. So we take that and 2 goat skins. Goat skin. Hey, beautiful, how you doing?
Alright.
Getting on pretty well with the camels, although the camel threw me off yesterday, which was, luckily it was on sand, so that was okay.
Don't you worry, we will be very safe.
Hi, Daddy.
Hey, little man, how you doing?
I'm good.
Hello, Mr. Ludo. So the camel is actually saying hello.
I can send the camel back, and I can stay in the desert. Would you rather have me or a camel?
It's a tough one.
Hate those last phone calls.
I'm nervous about it. I'm really nervous because I'm going to be doing something I've never done before and doing it with someone who's never done this before, and we're going to have to work together, and this is really a test of not only how I can adapt to this situation anyway, but also proving to everyone that I am back to who I used to be, and that's really important.
Should I be doing this? Do I still want to do this? I'm nervous about heading out there, but I'm excited as well.
Ben and James are leaving their Bedouin lentils behind to begin their journey across the empty quarter.
It's going to be fun. It's that time of day.
They've still no idea if their navigation skills are up to the task, or if they can cover enough distance in 2 days to reach the first well, 60 kilometers away.
I'm still dubious as whether we have enough water. And in that, I've been let down by the sun in terms of getting the goat skin bags. You know, they leak so much, and as much as he's saying, well, they won't leak when they're on the camel, it's not something I believe, really.
He's still really worried about water and navigation. And let's be honest, that's kind of what makes the empty quarter, water and navigation. And the heat. I always knew this was going to be tough. We haven't even started yet, and psychologically it's kind of eating us up. James does drag me down, and there's no way I would have been as stressed as that yesterday with someone else, I don't think. I've still got a lot on my mind, but I think he does pull me down a little bit, and it's my job to try and pull both of us back up. I have to work double time, and in that sense I do feel I'm treading on eggshells. It's okay? Right, guys.
Yep.
4 camels.
4 camels.
Food.
Food well.
It's going to be fun, yeah? That's the thing.
It's going to be fun.
Hey, Musalam.
Good morning. James, and how are you?
Yeah, good. I think we are finally ready.
That's good. I'm happy that you have learned a lot in a few days.
We'll see.
And I wish you good trip. I hope to see you in the next 5 years. So take care.
I hope it'll be quicker than 5 years.
Okay, brilliant.
Thank you very much, Musalam.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Camels are good.
We're off, James. We are off to the empty quarter.
I feel like I'm going to the best fancy dress party ever. I'm going to win the best costume.
Say goodbye to civilization. Bye, guys. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, everyone. Look at this. Now that is an unbelievable sight.
It's only empty. But what's more worrying is that every sand unit's pretty much the same to me. Hey fellas, don't you back away from the empty quarters.
Yeah,
I'm relying on you.
They're genuinely all looking around going, oh no.
We're going in with these two idiots. That's what they're saying. Not that I speak camel yet, but I'm learning.
God, that is beautiful. I don't think I've ever seen a desert quite as vast.
You'll be bored of that view in about an hour.
With my gang, Captain Barnacles, Janet behind, and just in front over there is James. James, what's your load camel called?
Auto.
Oh no, they're carrying the cargo.
Yeah, I don't really know. Auto 2 is kind of what I've been referring to them as.
For the next 18 days, it will be just Ben, James, and their 4 camels. Without Bedouin guides, navigation through the sand dunes is no easy task.
So Musalem said to us, go across the valley, go to behind that dune, and take the gully to the northeast.
So right to northeast.
Yeah.
They not only need the right bearing, they must also know their average hourly pace to map their route to the first well.
So what do we think our walking pace is now?
Over 3 easily.
3 kilometres an hour.
After just 2 hours, they're struggling.
What I'm confused then, this could be this one, this could be this one.
I think we need to go that way.
Okay.
I think we need to go east of this one and then to the north of the one behind, and then that will bring us back out onto the sand and gravel.
It's just almost like we have to just have a punt, and if we're wrong we have to come back and take the other route.
We've got to get it right.
Yeah, listen, I know we've got to get it right.
This is the hardest bit.
And it's so easy to get the dunes muddled because there's so many of them.
To keep to their bearing, they decide to go straight over a big sand dune.
You see, your camel goes up on its knees.
It's quite steep, mate.
Yeah.
It's not a good idea. The pack animals, Janet and Otto too, are weighed down by 75 kilograms of supplies each.
Steady.
You okay, James?
Yeah, hang on.
Let me,
Just pull her and this momentum will drag her up. Just need to go.
James, I think it's too much weight for them to get soft.
If the camels escape, they'll lose all their food and water, which would mean the end of the expedition.
Well, let's go and get mine.
Hey.
Slowly. We've discovered not to take them over big dunes. Big dunes and camels don't work very well.
They need to cover at least 30 kilometers today.
I think we might need to just check navigation, Ben.
But they're still struggling with their route. And the camels.
Come on, stop it! Ooh, I got a boot to the leg there.
You're right, yeah. Don't you get any ideas?
After so many wrong turns, the pressure is taking its toll.
Oh. Fucking idiot. I'm fucking not give a shit anymore. It's bullshit. Just gonna get there so we can fucking go home. Come on. Yeah, fuck you. Ups and downs. I think James is getting frustrated because he's got off. Starting to swear. It is frustrating. We've had to stop and redo them. Navigation's hard, so it's it's not easy. We all go up and down. I'm feeling really good, but I don't. But this is my what a tempered ass bit. I'm aware of that.
After a frustrating 9 hours on the move, they decide to make camp.
I've absolutely no idea where we are. It looks very much the same as we started this morning. It's full of sand dunes. And as our navigation briefing was 5 minutes, and our map involved a pencil line drawn near to 600 kilometres away, it was very much a case of the blind leading the blind, which, when you're going somewhere for the first time, is not a particularly good way of finding anything. I'm hoping navigation becomes easier. Walking is one thing, walking in the wrong direction is another thing.
This is kind of cooking vestige style. It's literally just water, salt and flour, no yeast or anything. It's pretty stodgy and heavy, so it really fills you up. I've never baked bread out on an expedition like this. It's the opposite of what you would normally do. You'd normally have rehydrated meals, boil some water, eat, go. And instead I'm about to spend a couple of hours cooking it, and you'll see it's quite laborious. What do you think of the bread?
Oh, it's damn good.
Anyway, so we've got bread for breakfast, and we've got a lunch as well.
Marvellous.
We need to just be a bit careful of scorpions around here. Just do a little check, especially boots in the morning.
What time is it? 6:30. Fucking hell, boy. How long have you been awake?
Wake up.
Ben and James have overslept. They're already an hour and a half behind schedule.
These camels fought all night.
After yesterday's navigation problems, they'll have to keep moving all day in the right direction to stand a chance of reaching the well by nightfall.
The dune in front of you.
Very nice. How you like to go over it?
Were you cold last night?
Yeah, a little bit chilly.
Your tea water is ready.
Oh, perfect. Dates.
Yeah, dates.
Where's the sugar? Hey, fellas? There's no biting allowed.
That's us. Right, so James,
Yeah, Captain?
we head towards that big flat escarpment on that dune and then bear to the left.
They've missed the coolest part of the day, but a good night's sleep seems to have lifted James's spirits.
Talk me through your adaptations. You look like you've been blinging it up.
Well, I've got a sort of slit in my dishwasher there. That's because
Are you trying to show me leg?
well, I would be showing you that, although I did actually fashion a pair of gaiters
Nice.
out of my undergarments.
Yeah.
So that there's less sand going down my shoes, because we spent so much time walking yesterday.
So, what's the mood in camp today, given that the mood can only be you and I? What mood have we created?
All in the black rather than red at the moment.
Good. I'm feeling really optimistic today. I think, slowly we're getting used to life out here. Go over this way.
So straight on.
Yeah. I think things are a bit more relaxed today. We left a bit later than we wanted, but you can't have everything. It's like something has to always give here.
It's looking good.
Oh, that's a big flat plane. That's a good sight already. You see that kind of different coloured one there?
Right,
down to the right. Yeah. So heading, you see the little shrub on the top.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to go over that.
Yeah,
or
so it's
over
down.
that.
So I'm pretty certain it's down there.
it.
Yeah.
We're getting there. Yeah.
It's slowly, but we're getting there.
Slowly. Well done, Otto. You're good pace, dude. Good pace.
You notice how the packing seems to be much better today?
Yeah, no.
James and Ben have been on the go now for 9 hours and covered 27 kilometres. They're back on track to make it to the well.
There's a lot of camels on the horizon. There are lots of people with them as well. It's funny, isn't it? Because actually one of them looks like a man on a motorbike, and actually one of them looks like a bloke pulling a sledge. I think my mind is already playing tricks on me. But I'm hoping where there's camels, there's going to be a herder, a nomad of some sort, and I would imagine they would keep them not far from a source of water. Look, camels, greenery and water.
It's not the romantic oasis of legend, but it's water.
Oh, look at that, guys.
And finding it marks a huge success for James and Ben, and excellent news for their camels.
How satisfying is that? Wow. Oh, is that good, Janet? What do you think, Otto? It's a relief of seeing these guys filling themselves up. It actually looks quite clean, this water, as well. Sulphurous. Pretty satisfying to see them drinking, isn't it?
There's plenty more gas in the tank, is what I get from that.
After today's effort, they've earned an early finish.
It was a huge relief to get to the well, because not only just to get to the well, but for the well to be where we thought it would be. And that is a huge relief. We are in better shape for a good day tomorrow than we were yesterday, mentally.
A really good day. We're going to try and up the ante a little bit tomorrow. We're on an unstoppable train now. Here we go. I think that's okay.
How many tea bags would you like in your tea, sir?
Just one, thank you.
One?
It's so quiet here, isn't it?
Yeah.
Well, except for the grumbling camels.
What were you hoping to get out of coming here?
I think the bigger attraction for this trip was to go with you than just to come here to the desert. It's something I've always wanted to do, if I'm to be really honest.
Well, likewise, that's
I mean, that's, you know, we haven't really seen each other for a while. Kind of, you've been having your own things to deal with, and you know, we've both got families and we've both disappeared off. And so, throwing that question back to you about why you're here.
I spent a lot of the last 3 years hiding away a little bit from life, because people don't really know, or didn't, you know, how to talk to me or have perceptions of what I would be like after having had a big old smack on the head.
Is there a stigma? Do you think it's a stigma in people?
I think there's not necessarily a stigma. I think it's often called the hidden illness of a brain injury, because you don't really know what people are capable of. It's not like a heart attack or cancer. There is a kind of, or a broken leg, or there is a time scale or perceived recovery. We all know someone. It's very different. As people, you know, I have mates talk to me like I'm a foreigner.
Does that annoy you when people?
Yeah, because I don't want to be judged on a different scale. I never have.
Alright. Oh. I was just feeding my camel. And he's bitten me quite badly, actually. Oh. That is very, very painful. It's a very deep... Oh, God, that is sore. Right, I've got to try and... So, James, you might just come and give me a little hand just cleaning my hand.
Just had you shout. So you're feeding it and it...
Yeah, it's just listening to me. It's very deep. He literally took my hand for a date, quite literally. And his big old tooth went straight in.
Now, you know what's coming.
Yeah, I do. It's fine.
Yeah? You got to do it because the camels is not good. I'm feeling your pain, man. I'm feeling your pain. Right. Put that on top of it.
Right. Let's carry on so that there's no time.
Ben's camel has bitten his hand to the bone.
It's not the greatest place to have a big open wound. Keeping anything clean out there is hard enough.
This injury means another delayed morning.
So we've got another handicap. Again, that makes the quicksands less and less likely. It's a real shame because we just started to get into the life. We woke up at the time we should today and we were packing up well, and then the reality is the first time we fed the camels in the dark, and it mistook one of his fingers or his thumb for a date, which is not a good thing.
This desert expedition was never meant to be competitive. But James was quickly falling back into the role of Olympic taskmaster, pushing himself and Ben to achieve the goal they set.
I can see it developing into a race now, which I hadn't before, because there is a target at the end of it to reach the quicksands that Bessie was the first European to see, and in order to do that we're going to have to be pretty regimented and ruthless about getting up, getting on it, and keeping the camels on it and out walking on it. That may be falling into the competitive arena, and I may be more driven to achieve those goals than Ben.
with James, I always feel this pressure to keep up with him or to match what he's doing.
It hasn't been the happiest trips yet. It has been kind of dominated by stress, which is strange because I thought as soon as we took out the racing aspects that it would just be chilled.
By midday, they've covered 16 kilometers. James wants to push on through the hottest time of the day. But Ben is becoming increasingly worried about his camel, Janet, who's refusing to eat.
I was going to let them just grab a few bits of green as we go through.
It's how important it is to reach the quicksands, because every time we stop is going to affect our overall destination. Now, we've set ourselves a challenge.
Yeah. But I think 2 minutes to give them this.
We're already up to 3 or 4 minutes. Captain, we're off.
Just a kilometer later, Ben stops again. He spotted some good food for Janet on top of a dune.
I feel terrible because there's just no food for her and she's starving, absolutely starving. She's kind of been groaning and trying to eat the saddle, trying to eat my stick, eating bags, absolutely anything. Because she just won't eat the dates.
If she's turning down dates, then she's not hungry. They had food last night, they had dates, and then some this morning. I've gone and got mine some leaves. As you can see, there's just sticks left. It's like feeding your kids, isn't it? It's when a parent brings around their kids and they go, oh, they don't eat crusts of pizza, they don't eat crusts of bread. That's because you don't let them eat crusts of pizza or crusts of bread. If you're hungry, you'll eat it.
They're carrying all our water and load. They've got to eat. I know the importance of those camels out here. Without them, we're screwed. To be honest, I don't think James really does always get it.
It's time to have a pee or get off the potty, and that's what we've got to do now. We either stop or carry on, and worrying about little things. The camel doesn't appear to like dates. It's like, well, if it's hungry, it will eat dates.
If she doesn't eat this, I don't know. I don't know what else I can do. She's eaten.
They've good. That's good, yeah. Mine have had a snack as well.
Good.
Right, we need to make a decision. It's time to have a pee or get off the potty.
Have a what?
Have a pee or get off the potty.
Have a pee or get off the potty.
Right, now, there's that way is an option.
Yeah.
That way is an option. Cutting through there is an option. I think go in the middle way. And right now, we're doing none of the camels any favours by standing here.
Perfect. Let's
move on. You've had enough to eat. Then you start whinging. So now we're off.
The quicksands are still more than 500 kilometers away. If they're going to reach their target in time, they need to agree on how best to cover the distance and motivate their camels.
I don't think we should ride the camels at all. I think they should purely be pack animals.
But we've given ourselves a set time to make the distance, and the reality is we're not going to get there.
You could whack them to bits with a stick to make them go fast. It's not my style. It's not a race.
The reality is to make the quicksands, we're going to have to up our pace by 50%.
At least we found water.
After just 3 days, James and Ben's dream of crossing the empty quarter is in serious doubt.
Camel snot. Are we going to stay here or do you want to move on?
Well, it's a bigger question than that, isn't it?
Yeah. What are you thinking right now?
What's the point of the trip, is what I'm thinking.
There are a lot of complexities to life out here. The complexities of doing it with James. We just seem to be failing at everything we try to do. Maybe we're just rubbish at this. Maybe we really can't do this. But you know, we've both been on umpteen expeditions and trips, and this is way harder. Different level as far as I'm concerned. Good agrees. I only had a few before this. It's actually aging me. I think what I'm trying to say now is that we're trying. We're really trying.
Next time, with their expedition falling apart, James and Ben make a last-ditched attempt to pick up the pace.
We're covering some good distance at this speed at least.
But their camels become increasingly difficult.
Stop! Oh, you fucker! Wait!
Their fragile relationship is pushed to breaking point. And their dream of reaching the empty quarter's famous quicksands is put in jeopardy once and for all.
So a crushing shock in a case of man versus camel. My money's on the camel. Is this one challenge too far even for Ben and James? Find out tomorrow here on BBC 2 at 9. Well, next tonight, the stuff legends are made of. An all-star cast battle it out in Jerry Bruckheimer's